So Tom Brady yesterday released to the Players Tribune a letter. And this is what a lot of athletes do. Your Kevin Durant's, your Derek Jeters, your Tom Brady's or whoever's. They retire, they do something special, and they, in their own words, take the media out of it. They write a column for the Players Tribune. And there was a couple of things that jumped out, but let me stay on one thing for Tom Brady. He goes, right now, though, I have things to prove to myself. The only way is through. If I don't go for it, I'll never know what could have happened. If I stood at the bottom of a mountain and told myself I could scale the highest peak, but then didn't do anything, what's the point of that? That is how successful people think. And let me give you an example. Bill Holmes is my former accountant, lives in Portland. I moved around the country now and use somebody else, but he's a great accountant, Portland, Oregon. And he has a successful firm with a lot of successful people. And we were talking about this one time. And I never forget this. This is one of these moments somebody says something and it just sticks. Your dad says something to you, your mom, your brother. And it just, sometimes people say something and it just kind of lands, and for the rest of your life, it's there. You're like, I'm never going to forget that. That's where sayings like a penny saved is a penny earned. Somebody smart, Aristotle or somebody, comes up with that, and we think about it for the rest of our lives. So I'm not saying Bill is Aristotle or Socrates, but he said something to me once. He said, with all my successful clients, he had men, he had women, young, old, tech, startups. He said, they never talk about failure. It's built in. Failure is built into success because to fail is part of business. It doesn't matter if you're Mark Cuban, Rupert Murdoch. It doesn't matter. He said losers worry about failure. Winners worry about something else. Regret. He goes, when I talk to my clients, I hear regret a lot. I regret I didn't buy this business. I regret I didn't grow faster. I regret I didn't spend more time with this person or that person. He goes, I hear regret. He goes, that's the thing that eats away at the successful, smart people I deal with. Failure is just built into life. And one of the things I've always believed about successful people, they're not always smarter. They're more aggressive. And aggressive is a really important factor in success. Number one, if you're aggressive, if you adapt quickly, if you're right, and you're not always going to be right, it's okay. But if you're right, you're going to get a lead on your industry or your field. If you adapt to the three-point shot, if you adapt to certain analytics in sports first, like the Warriors did, you jump on the rest of the league. Secondly, if you fail, and successful people don't worry about failure, they worry about regret. If you fail, you also know what doesn't work quickly, and you can move off it. Schwarzkopf. Remember General Schwarzkopf? When we got into the Gulf War, he talked about that. He said, you can't be paralyzed by perfection. I've heard people talking about that with this virus. You can't be paralyzed with it. You've got to act. And then if you're wrong, react. But don't sit back and be passive. Go for it. Try stuff. And Tom Brady is thinking like successful people do. I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to sit at the bottom of the mountain and not climb it. Can I succeed without Belichick? Can I succeed at 43, 44? Can I succeed without Belichick? Can I succeed without Dante Scarnecchia? Can I succeed in a different system? Can I succeed in the NFC from the AFC in a tougher division? Mark Cuban always says, go for it. It just takes one idea to get rich. By the way, actors do this. The great actors. Marlon Brando had 7 bombs. Who cares? Nobody talks about him. Michael Jordan bombed in D.C. Nobody cares. It didn't hurt his legacy. And for the record, if you look at the quarterbacks who have either moved on or been moved, Peyton Manning, 2 Super Bowls. Brett Favre, NFC Championship. Joe Montana, Kansas City, AFC Championship. When you still have thread left on the tires, Montana had some, Favre had some, Peyton had some, and I would say Tom is certainly healthier than Peyton. And I think he's closer to his good years than perhaps Montana. In Kansas City, Tom's better than 75% of the league right now. There's no market for Cam or Jameis Winston. Okay? There's a market for Tom. Chargers wanted him confirmed. Raiders wanted him confirmed. New England wanted to keep him confirmed, and Tampa Bay got him. He's better than 75% of the guys in this league. Nobody's saying right now he's Russell Wilson. Nobody's saying he's Patrick Mahomes. On his good days, his good drives, his good series, his good halves, he is still exceptional. Today to win a game, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, who would you take? I'd probably take Brady. I'm not saying I'd take him in a year and a half from now, but this moment, probably Tom. And I like Goff. So when I look at all these situations, what successful people do is go for it. Failure will not affect Tom's legacy. People will bang on him on social media. He doesn't care. Successful people don't. It's about regret and not living a life. Be honest about it. Be honest about it with yourself. Do you ever get content or comfortable? You ever think maybe, be honest about this, you've underachieved a little? Most of us do. We get comfortable. We get content. We get scared. I'm not going to go for it. Brady's not that kind of guy. And I think it defines his personality, defines his life. You know, there's a lot of beautiful women he could have asked out. He asked out a supermodel, the world's number one supermodel. Confident, aggressive, go for it, no regrets. So I saw this come out yesterday. Thank God the NFL is giving us content. The All-Decade team came out in the NFL. And I'm not really a big guy on lists and trophies and this kind of stuff. But 2010 All-Decade team. So let's just go to the quarterback. Tom Brady. Yep. Aaron Rodgers. I agree. Here's what's interesting. The media influences perception. Thank God the media doesn't influence reality. Just perception, not reality. So Aaron Rodgers, a couple years ago, the GOAT, Hall of Fame first ballot, best pure quarterback talent since Elway. The perception of Aaron Rodgers is rather grandiose. The perception of Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll carried him. There's Marshawn Lynch, Legion of Boom. He's good, very talented. Nobody disputes that. But, you know, he's kind of quirky. He's a little small. He's more of a runner than he is a thrower. Oh, it's interesting. So let's go to the last decade, of which Russell Wilson did not play in the first 2 years. Aaron Rodgers has one Super Bowl win. Russell's got 2 appearances, 1 win. Playoff record, one guy 10-7, Aaron. Russell's 9-6, same. Overall record, Aaron 96-45-1. Russell Wilson 86-44-1. Completion percentage, both 64. Passer rating, 101 Russell, 103 Aaron. Aaron has missed 18 starts. Russell's never missed one. So I would get Aaron Rodgers the nod over Russell Wilson. I'm not disputing that, but it's really close. One guy never misses games. Also, one guy, Aaron Rodgers, has on average had a much better O-line with more Pro Bowlers than Russell Wilson the entire decade. But now here's what's interesting. Let's just remember, perception, Aaron is boo, and Russell is quite talented. We don't talk GOAT, Hall of Fame. We don't talk. Now let's compare Aaron and Russell Wilson. Since Russell entered the league, only 8 of the 10 years. Aaron no longer has a Super Bowl. Russell has 2. Aaron loses his biggest statistical and touchdown year, and he still misses 16 starts. Since Russell entered the league, remember, he didn't get a sit for 3 years. He was injected with a bad O-line into the NFL. Day 1, since he entered the league, he would have 2 Super Bowls, Aaron none, more rushing touchdowns, more passing yards, higher completion percentage, 0 missed starts, with an inferior, on average, offensive line. Russell Wilson's a better quarterback since he entered the league than Aaron Rodgers. He's a better runner. He's a better teammate. He's worked around a worse offensive line. He's got more passing yards. He completes a higher percentage. He doesn't get coaches fired. And he never misses a start. This is not to say that Aaron Rodgers should not make the all-decade team. He should. I'd vote for him. But the perception is Aaron here and Russell several notches below. Russell's been the better quarterback the last 8 years, with inferior offensive linemen protecting him. Just want to throw it out there. Thank God the media does not control reality. They simply control perception, and that has influence. I'm not disputing that. But they're not, this is not, if somebody's got an edge on the other right now in the NFL, today Russell's a better football player than Aaron Rodgers. No question. Doesn't get hurt. Works around inferior offensive lines. Completions. Running around. Making average guys better. Does any wide receiver or tight end not work with Russell? Name it. I'm waiting for one in 8 years. They all work to some degree.